And Republic gets you an exclusive news break on the India-China face-off and the government and how they are preparing an anti-China blueprint to hit back at Beijing over the violation at the line of actual control. Now, sources have told Republic that the government could take strong economic measures to counter China. Executive Editor Abhishek Kapoor joining us on the broadcast with more details of what the government measures will be like. Abhishek, if you can hear me, very important now, take us through all that has been decided.
Well, Suresha, there is a public sentiment gaining ground in India that while we have become a little dependent on cheap Chinese goods and a lot of Chinese companies making inroads into even strategic sectors and even important in big sectors like infrastructure, what is important is, given the larger philosophy of Atmanirbhar Bharat that Prime Minister gave, a fillip has to be given to make sure that in areas wherever India can do things on its own and the Chinese are trying to beat competition by cutting corners and taking shortcuts and there are a lot of stories about the manner in which they do it. For example, there was this instance where they agreed to pay the anti-dumping duty on behalf of an importer if the importer agreed to file a legal case in a court and in against the government of India imposing that anti-dumping duty on Chinese goods. Over the last 1 year, we have seen a lot of important decisions having been taken aimed at curtailing and discouraging import of non-essential goods and items from China, including things like agarbatti, which can be easily made in India. But then because China has a certain way of doing business which does not favor norms and rules as framed by the World Trade Organization. For example, almost 40% of Chinese GDP is contributed by state-owned companies. Of the 129 companies that China has in the global Fortune 500, 80% of them are actually owned by the Chinese government, which means the Chinese Communist Party actually has spread its tentacle worldwide through its mechanism of speed scale in merchandise manufacturing. So aimed at that, we have seen the government of India has taken many measures, including, for example, changing the norms on June 4 last, where the government did not make it mandatory that only L1, as in the lowest bid, should be considered if the area is in infrastructure of a strategic importance. We saw how, for example, a contract for a tunnel making outside of New Delhi to Meerut was given to a Chinese company, while the difference between the lowest bid by the Chinese company and the next Indian company was only 50 crore rupees. That has been put to review as per the new norms. Last month we saw, in fact, the government of India coming out with a rule under which any FDI that has to come from any country sharing land border with India has to go through the government route. It cannot go through the open route, unlike in the case of other nations around the world. That was obviously aimed at China. Apart from that, we have seen restrictions and prohibitions being put on many imports. Duties have been imposed on 13 items in the past year itself, which include items imported from China. There are latest restrictions that I mentioned to you happened on 4th of June this month and the last month, and there is average time taken. For example, I'm reading from some information that has been shared with me. Imposition of anti-dumping duty and safeguard duty. Average time taken by the DGFT. DGTR, as in the Director General of Trade Remedies, for initiation of anti-dumping investigations has come down to 33 days from 43 days that it used to be, and was 234 days earlier. So that is the difference in terms of changes in bureaucracy that have been put in place to make sure that any unfair advantage that China has because of its money muscle does not limit or damage Indian industry. Even more decisions are in order. In fact, in 2020 itself, new impositions of anti-dumping duty has been done on goods or items imported from China, which includes pyrozolone, chlorinated polyvinyl chloride resins, and digital offset printing, plates, essentially a lot of electronic goods also, which we can procure from Taiwan or get them manufactured in India. We have seen how over the last 4 or 5 years, India has become the biggest manufacturer of mobile phones in the world, second biggest manufacturer of mobile phones in the world. So I believe the government is fully aware that the Chinese have used their money muscle to break rules, break international order. We saw in fact how President Trump has been going after Chinese because he believes that since China joined the World Trade Organization about 25 years ago, there are about 60,000 corporations and companies that have shut shop in United States and over 20 million job losses over that period. So it's a sentiment gaining ground globally. India is of course part of it, and this is information that we are getting from our government sources that while a lot of decisions have already been taken over the last 1 year to make sure that non-essential goods, just because they are cheap, do not make entry into India, even more such policies are under review, and over a period of time you would see, perhaps next 3 to 6 months, that India would be changing more policies to make sure that the Chinese do not get any advantage because of their money muscle.
Absolutely, Abhishek, because firstly, to understand that the larger economic goal any which way is to be Atmanirbhar and go local. Secondly, also to accept that somewhere there is a dependence on Chinese goods, and as much as there is mounting anger on the fact that Chinese goods and Chinese products must now be boycotted, there had to be a strategic plan into how exactly we are going to cut away from that and ensure that we are still self-sufficient. So we are not in a situation where a hasty decision is taken and then we go back on our word. So clearly the government is very strategically working on the same to understand how to teach China a lesson, hurt its money power, hurt its wallet, and at the same time India within itself moving towards a self-sufficient Atmanirbhar local economy.
Well, yes, I mean local economy in the sense that not essentially a closed economy, but an economy which is self-reliant, which is able to contribute to the rest of the world.
Yes.
And this is in the context of China being looked at with a lot of suspicion globally now post-COVID pandemic for having been spreader-in-chief, for having not been honest, for having obfuscated, for having obstructed flow of information, and for having compromised the World Health Organization to Dr. Tedros, and then the debt trap, the whole debt trap scenario of China where nation after nation which first takes debt from China and then is not able to pay back, and then the debt is converted into equity, and then the Chinese almost own up the nation. We have seen how Pakistan has been pauperized in the name of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. We have seen how in the case of Sri Lanka, they first were very happy to get the Hambantota port, but then it has been acquired along with 1,500 acres of land taken over by Chinese for 100 years. Effectively, it becomes Chinese territory, Chinese land within Sri Lankan territory. So I believe the world is realizing that the Chinese have not been very honest traders. Perhaps they have been one up on the British from the imperialist times in terms of turning debt into equity and then pauperizing the local economy because of their money muscle. And India has taken protective measures, has been taking protective measures in the last 1 year, some of which I explained a while back so far as the Modi government is concerned. So it's not about a one-off thing is what we are bringing to our viewers here, that while a lot of things have been done to make sure that non-essential goods and the goods which can be easily manufactured in India, there are enough tariff walls and anti-dumping duties put in place to make sure that the Chinese do not have an edge. And as I said, you know, I gave you an example of how the Chinese try to circumvent that also. They are themselves willing to pay that anti-dumping duty, provided the importer goes and files a court case and tries to put pressure on the government of India to remove that anti-dumping duty. So I believe till the time India also attains that economy of scale and skill and speed, we will have to go through this. But what is important is the government has a plan, exclusively accessed by the Republic TV, as per which over a period of time you would see a lot of policy review happening to make sure that the Chinese are not dumping goods cheap just because they have scale on their side as of now.
Absolutely, and that makes it clear to the direction that we are now heading towards. On that note, Abhishek, many thanks for getting us these details.